whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. Never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are, who you're going to be. So prove to them, still amount to something. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Keith Andrew, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It is Season 12, Number 27. We're here as a wonderful guest. He already introduced himself on the recommendation. So the first question I want to ask you is tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, hi. I'm Stephen Banks, and I'm mainly a method actor. And then during the middle of last year, I helped fund a film for a student production, which went and won quite a few awards, which was called Art of Stone by Ivan Graziani. Then from there, people got to know me as a producer. So obviously the phone didn't stop, and people were asking for money for this, that, and the other. So obviously, then I went into producer mode and I made loads of contacts. And at the moment, I've got one film on Indigo. Am I allowed to mention it, Keith?
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want.
Okay, well, basically, the film at the moment is a vampire coming of age film. And it's like about a young lad who's orphaned when his parents get killed by vampires and then looked after by his aunt, Auntie Pam, played by Lena Richardson. And he also gets bullied at school, but he basically rebels and ends up fighting vampires, and that's his life. And it's a drama, it's a comedy, it's horror, it's fantastic film. So what we're doing a short film. It's out in Indigo at the moment. It's called The Fearless Billy Jenkins. So please go and donate, even if it's a £10, $10 yen, all helps towards the production. And from there, we could be going and doing between 2, 3, 4, around 5, 6 feature films after it. First 3 being when he's a young vampire hunter, and then it goes on to what is called the Slayer series when he's an adult with Van Helsing and everyone. But in the early ones, he's idle, he's Van Helsing, and he bases his life on Van Helsing and being the best vampire hunter possible. And apart from that, at the moment, because a while ago, Keith had a author, an urban singer called Tears, aka Dan Andrews. He wrote a book about his life, dealing with deep depression, anxiety, really deep suicidal situation, and he used the music industry to bring him up and cope with that situation. So he wrote a book, and we connected, and now I'm writing and directing and producing the film for his book. We should be starting with a short film, getting it through the festivals, and then also on to do the feature film with some amazing stars and actors and actresses. And basically, I'm also a lead star in about half a dozen films over the next year or so myself. I'm also a judge with the Global Caribbean Awards in September in the UK, which is a major honour. And on top of that, a couple of TV series from other authors. I'm also representing another couple of authors as well. So I'm being kept busy. And yeah, I don't get much sleep either.
All right, well, you mentioned a couple of films that you're in. Any of them on Peacock and Apple TV?
A lot of them are at the moment in post-production, quite a few Bollywood. One that was a feature main was something called Look Lag Gayi, Gayi, and that was with a well-known actor called Feroze Khan, director Yufi Kar Ali. Amazing thing that was. Great film, great casting, great. I'm also at the present moment a feature artist in a present film being filmed, which is the second version of it, which is Greenland. So I'm a feature actor in Greenland too at the present moment in time.
All right, so the next question I want to ask you is how has COVID impacted your life and do you see things in a different point of view?
For me, I was just that was before I came back in the industry. I had a big break, and just before COVID, I had a retail business, and it was also international. I used to sell overseas to America, to Canada, and to France, and other areas of Europe, as well as have a market stall and also sell in the UK. So that was impacted on me in a major way on a business sense, but basically destroyed the company, basically. And then from there, about 9 months later, I put my talents and artistic skills, and me and my ex-wife recreated baking cakes for everybody, put a smile on their face. So we tried to cope in one way or the other. But from the industry, a lot of people either didn't get any work or a lot of productions didn't get done, but a lot of people used it to innovate themselves by doing online productions via Zoom and so forth. So it was a very innovative time as well. And some of the things that came out were like, they done that by Zoom, cutting all like little scenes from in their house. They'll make up like sets within the house or their bedroom or their garage, film it, and then when they were allowed to come together or even send the actual footage, it all got caught in the editing room, and some of the stuff was absolutely amazing. You get given a problem in life, and you attach yourself to it, and you work with it. You can come up with amazing results if you put your mind to it. Never take no for an answer, is what I say.
Now, the next one I want to ask you is social media. How has social media helped you progress in your career, and has it gave you any opportunities?
Good question, because social media can go both ways. It can, I mean, not well, three ways. One, it just doesn't do anything for you. Two, it can work inadvertently against you. People just don't like you or what you are. In my case, I've been quite lucky. It's actually boosting my credibility, both on people below the line, other people, and above the line, influential people as well. And I've been many opportunities to do things and spread the word about who I am, which is another reason how I became a judge for the Global Caribbean Awards. I never heard of it. They came to me, and I was quite honoured based on what they saw through my social media, like Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. So I like social media. I'm not an expert. I wish I was, but it does get the word out, and it's a useful tool if you use it correctly. As long as you're open and transparent with people, and you don't hold anything back, people will trust you, and they will follow you, and they'll believe in you.
No, absolutely. And you also mentioned that you are an actor and a producer, and also
Yeah,
you are a judge as well.
yeah. It's a mixture, isn't it?
So
uh,
go ahead.
sorry.
Oh, and so the next question I want to ask you is, well, as a producer, what experience do you have in making videos?
Well, a lot of my producer skills come from the corporate world because I've run my own businesses, I've run other people's companies. I've taken on things like project management situations from scratch, given impossible tasks. And I say, yeah, I can do that. And I walk away and I go, bugger, did I say yes to that? But I do it. I take it on board and I make it a success. One little story. Back in 2010, I joined a little radio club. You know, it's just an online thing. People do a little podcast or whatever, and then they put it online. So I went to the meeting and I said to the founder, Terry Cleaver, I went, why haven't you not got a radio station? You know, you're all radio enthusiasts. Well, it's finding the place, it's getting the money. I went, we'll find a place and we'll find the money. 2 weeks later, this very same social club that we had the meetings had a little back room. I thought, brilliant, let's go look at it. It was a dirty old storage room, probably about 15 by 9, split in two. It was dirty, it was disgusting, it was damp. Well, okay then, let's clear it out, clean it up, damp proof it, and then let's get it sorted. And the budget was just over £1,000. That's about, I don't know, about $15,000. and I had 6 months to do it in. And I didn't have a clue where to start, but I got it done in budget and on time. We brought in friends, family, community. We knocked on the doors. If it's a business, you have the item, product, or services. We want that. They go, great. I go, that's fantastic. We're not paying you any money though. We'll give you some credits and advertising or really reduce costs. It's basically crowdsourcing at the highest level. Just knock on doors. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. It's a numbers game.
Now, the next one I'm going to ask you is what's hard about catering and building to the right audience?
Say that again, sorry.
What's hard about catering and building to the right audience?
Oh, that's a good question. It's knowing your market. When it comes to things like that, I go back to old school business. Knowing who your customer is, knowing what their needs are, their wants, and most important, what their desires are. If you can find out what they want, you can definitely build on their desires and pull them on board. It all depends on if it's in films and entertainment. Obviously, when it comes down to the age, yeah, because there's certain ratings and so forth, and what type of audience you want to direct it at as well. And also, it depends also what country, because if you go to certain countries, you have to abide by their political needs or political wants or regulations. So you have to know all aspects of what you're doing at the same time, which is a minefield.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, wrapping up our talk show segment, how can our fans and listeners get in touch with you?
Well, they can contact me on Instagram at Banksy, BANKSY 19662022. Basically, 1966 being the year I was born, and 2022 the year I fully focused on my career in this industry. Apart from that, they can contact me at my company name, which I set up very recently to get things moving properly, which is Scene to Scene. Well, Stephen.Banks. That's Stephen with PH. Stephen.Banks at scene2scene.co.uk. That's scene, SCENE, number 2, then SEEN.co.uk. You can also, do I give my number out? I'd have to go through the email or through Instagram. Obviously, Facebook, Stephen Banks, which is the black and grey profile picture. And I'm also on IMDb as well. I'm also on a company called The Showcast as well. I'm on there as well. If I can give my phone number out, that's basically it, really, I think. And if anyone wants to go through you, I'm sure I'd be quite happy for you to give out my contact details to good people, obviously.
Well, wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. So until we meet again, catch you later. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.